Hello and welcome to the Q&A for June 2023. You've got questions, I've got answers. So, let's jump into it. Our first question comes from The Ultimate Geek, and they ask, Eclipse, have you ever considered playing Mario Party with your friends? It might be nice seeing y'all playing a fun, happy, and friendly multiplayer game together on the channel. The answer to this one is yes, I have actually considered playing Mario Party with my friends for the channel, but we just haven't gotten around to it, mostly because a fair few of my friends just aren't huge fans of Mario Party. Like, if I asked them to play it and I gave them the means to do it, then they would. But it's hard to get everyone to agree on a game to play pretty often, and this is one of those scenarios. It's also hard for me to rationalize as well, considering that putting out videos that aren't on Roblox pretty much nukes the viewership, and considering how all of the Mario Kart videos did, I would not be even remotely surprised if the Mario Party videos did just as bad. And as much as I like to sit here and posture and say that I'll just keep going no matter how bad the views get, I can't do that forever, because if I just totally kill my channel, then I won't be able to post any of those videos. As for the fun, happy, and friendly multiplayer game, I'm gonna assume that was sarcasm, because Mario Party does not turn out that way, as anyone who plays it would probably know. Next question is from Man4134, and they ask, did you enjoy the second Subnautica as you did the first one? If not, can you point out some minor aspects that it could improve on? Trying not to spoil the game review too much in the process. Well, to be honest with you, I don't even know if I'm going to do a review on Subnautica Below Zero, considering that the reviews that I've done in recent memories, especially the Jedi Survivor one, have done absolutely horrible. They've just been horrendously received. And so if doing reviews is not what people want and putting that out means nobody watches it, then I'm very, very less likely to do so. That being said, I'm kind of torn on the second Subnautica game. I don't know if I liked it more, less, or about the same. And the reason that I say that is because I think that the second Subnautica game is never going to be as good as the first if you've played the first one. Because the first Subnautica takes a decent amount of time to complete, especially if you're completely new and have no idea what you're doing, you learn a lot of things about Subnautica's world and how everything works, how the AI works especially, how resource harvesting works. And so when you get to the second game, a lot of that unknown that makes the first game so interesting is gone now. You may start the game with nothing, but you're starting the game with so much more than nothing, because you have a complete understanding of a lot of the mechanics and a lot of the things that the game's going to ask you to do. And honestly, I think that makes the game worse, but it's not something that the developers could have really done anything about unless they completely radically changed the way the whole game worked, which they did sort of try to do by making you have a voiced protagonist and making the story more engaging. But unfortunately, when it came to the story, I didn't think it was more engaging, but that could be my fault because I played it out of order. The first game's story is interesting because all the little tidbits about the aliens and stuff like that, you learn through PDA entries, and if you ignore all of them and you don't scan anything except for what you have to, then the story is really simple. But in the second game, just about everything is spelled out for you the whole time. Never mind the fact that, like I said, when I went through the game, I got the cure really early, as if you watched my Subnautica playthrough, you would have seen. And so I finished the entire Search for My Sister story arc very early, and I missed all the dialogue that Alan and Robin would have had with each other, and I was basically done with half the game in 5 minutes because I just happened to read the right stuff. So I don't know. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Did I enjoy it as much as the first one? Probably not. Next question is from Inferno Fire. They say, got a question. Do you think you'll ever continue the YBA series such as Build or Bust and many more if you play more? If yes, what can we do to support this idea? The answer to that is, of course, probably not. And it's also a perfect segue for me to tell you that that's the last of the YBA footage that you're going to see. Do I have a little bit more? Probably, but it's all bad. And I played for about an hour, had almost no fun, and just couldn't force myself to play anymore. So, yeah. I put this question on here basically to tell you guys, I don't know how you're still playing this game, because it's just not fun anymore. I think this warrants a video in of itself, so I'll probably do that. It'll probably call it like YBA isn't fun anymore. But there was a long period of time where I thought that the reason that I wasn't having fun and stopped playing was solely because the game wasn't getting updates and I was burned out. But going back with all this new stuff, and the new stuff just isn't fun. Like, it's not fun to get hit by a singular move and lose half my HP. It's not fun to hit someone like 12 times with stray hits like you used to, and then they hit you with one move, you lose half your HP and die. So I don't really know why this game is so timeless for people, especially now when it feels like it's in the worst state it's ever been in. There's so many different abilities that just tag you once and do like half your health. I don't understand. Never mind the fact that Vampire is just so ludicrously broken. I was trying to use boxing, and every time I ran into a Vampire, I wanted to shoot myself because it's so miserable to play against. The dash attack is unreactable. Like, you're never gonna perfect block that. You don't even see them move usually on your screen before they've hit you. And if they hit that, they hit Space Ripper for free, and then they can combo off of it if they're good, and it's just, you can't hit them because they disable 80% of your moveset because they always have a counter, and if you get hit by the counter, it's too risky because then you just take half your health and die again. I don't understand how people are still playing this. I really, really don't. So yeah, enjoy the footage I've scrounged around with from other games, because I'm sorry to the 40,000 of you that aren't gonna watch this, the rest of this, my bad. You guys don't really give me much of a choice but to throw YBA nonsense into the thumbnail, otherwise you won't watch it. And yes, there's proof. I mean, just look at it. Moving on. Mr. Tilt, do you have a plan on making a series about some other game in the future, such as the Subnautica series or Jedi Survivor? Would personally love to see more, even if it's just highlights of these games, since those types of videos are really engaging and fun to watch, apart from your DMZ analysis/rant type videos. Been watching you ever since your last Tarkov video, before moving to the unnameable JoJo game, and have been enjoying everything ever since. Thanks for the content. When it comes to single player games, yeah, I want to do more. I do want to put out a community poll at some point to ask what people like more, if they liked the more condensed version of videos that I did for like Batman and Subnautica Below Zero, where it's like 1 to 2 videos. I think I did that for Metal Gear as well. Or if people liked the padded out, just weekly releases of nonsense, because one of the big reasons that I didn't do a big padded out playthrough like I did for Subnautica is for 2 reasons. Number 1 is I just didn't feel super good about putting those videos out because, I don't know, it just felt like I was wasting people's time. And number 2, if any of you watch Zanny, which ironically enough, he put out a Below Zero video like way after his first one on the same day that I uploaded my second playthrough. Go figure. But I don't watch a whole lot of Zanny's videos, but I did watch his on Subnautica after I finished my playthrough, just because I was curious, and I'd watched him before, so I was like, how does his videos stack up to mine? Like, what's the difference? And they're way better, huge surprise there, but even still, there was this one moment in his video, maybe if I can find it, I'll put it in here.
I really condensed like 18 hours into a 10-minute shitpost. Damn it, I should have made a padded out playthrough where nothing happens.
But in case I can't find it, he basically makes jabs at everyone else who puts together like padded out playthroughs for money, and his videos are just like way better than that, and I agree with him. And so I felt like that was a direct punch to me, even though it clearly wasn't. But like, I'm one of those people, so I'm part of the problem. And I didn't really want to be part of the problem. But if people, like, generally speaking, which I've read in the comments, there are some people out there that were upset that I like sped run the game in 2 videos. If the people are asking for that, then so be it, because I make more money that way technically, and it makes my life easier, but I don't feel good about it necessarily. Next up, if they were to announce a DLC for Tears of the Kingdom in like a year or something, what do you think / hope it would be about? I'm not sure. I'm mostly just hoping that we get DLC for Tears of the Kingdom. I think we will. I'd be surprised if we didn't, considering how well it sold and considering that Breath of the Wild also got DLC. But that being said, I have no idea what they're gonna do with it. I've played the game to death. I'm not sure if I'm gonna try to 100% it or not. I've gotten all the shrines. I've obviously went through the whole story. I went on stream and I beat the whole thing with 3 hearts, which was pretty crazy. But when it comes to DLC, the only thing that I would kind of hope for, but I know we'll never get, so it's pointless hoping for it, is sort of like a restoration of Hyrule DLC that takes place after the game's complete. Something where we like go around with Zelda and fix shit up that Ganon's destroyed. I don't know, I just think that concept's really cool, and Zelda games always cut off right before the final boss when you load your last save after beating the game. So it'd be nice to finally have a chance to go through Hyrule in a more peaceful, less apocalyptic state. Especially considering that this is probably the last we're gonna see of this Hyrule from the Breath of the Wild era. And so if this is the last time we're gonna see it, I'd really like some more character moments between the characters we've seen, as well as just generally having stuff take place after the whole Calamity stuff went down. But that's a beggars can't be choosers kind of deal, because I highly doubt we're gonna get anything like that. This question, Tangy230. So here's a question. Where did you get the idea of making content? Did it just pop up into your head, or were there any other content creators that inspired you to make content? And if so, who were the creators? Well, when it came to starting my YouTube channel, I really did just kind of decide to do it one day. I was playing some Tarkov. I was playing a lot of Tarkov. Too much, arguably. And I didn't really have anything going on. I wasn't doing anything, and I felt like I was just kind of wasting my time. And I was like, well, I kind of like video editing before, and I like making videos. I just never post anything, ever. And so I figured if I'm playing so much of this game, why not record it? And if I record it, maybe I can share it with like 10, 20, who knows how many people. And so I started recording Tarkov, and then I made a singular video on YBA, and unfortunately, I almost wish I hadn't nowadays, but here we are. As for creators that inspired me, big one, definitely Aqua FPS. Basically the reason that I started doing Tarkov videos, and if I didn't start doing Tarkov videos, I wouldn't have made videos at all, and then I wouldn't be here. So Aqua FPS, you can thank him for the only reason I'm here. Nowadays, I don't know. I don't really directly think I take inspiration from too many creators. There are creators that I admire. The underdogs immediately come to mind, who were specifically linked directly to Smash Brothers, and then they managed to branch out and just make really good videos that are hilarious. So big shout outs to them. But other than that, I don't really watch a whole lot of YouTube as compared to the amount of times I spend making videos and playing games. So those are the only people that directly come to mind. WholeHorse5691 says, hey Eclipse, I've been a fan for a very long time, and I've been wondering how has YouTube changed you and how much did it impact your life knowing you have people supporting you? Sorry if this is a personal question, I'm just interested in how it affected your life and if it made it any better. Well, it definitely made it better in a sense that I feel like I have a purpose in my life now, where I kind of didn't before. Less so that I didn't have a purpose in my life, and more so I just felt like I was doing everything that I was supposed to do rather than making my own decisions. So it's been nice knowing that I have something that I can look forward to doing every day, that I enjoy, that also is able to sustain me. Now, as for knowing that people are supporting me, this is one that's a lot harder to have a grasp on because I don't really see any of these people. And it's weird to say that, and it's weird to say that I don't like really have an understanding of people supporting me. But if one person walked up to me in real life and was like, hey, you're Eclipse, I love your videos, that would be infinitely more like of a impact on me than hundreds of thousands of people telling me in a message board or something. And I can't really explain why that is. When you can't put voices and faces to the names on the screens, it's hard to quantify exactly how many people are watching the videos, and it's also hard to not just look at the views and correlate it to how sustainable is this, how much money am I going to make, is this something I can continue doing? Like, there's so many questions that don't involve the actual people behind the screen that it gets really complicated really fast. And it's not something that I like. Like, I'm not proud of the fact that I look at a video and I'm not thinking about the fact that 4,000 people watched the video. I'm thinking about the fact that the video failed and now I'm fucked and I can't make more videos on that series or that game that I'm enjoying. That's the stuff that I think about. 4,000 is a lot of people. If I met 4,000 people all at once, I would be absolutely overwhelmed with support. But 4,000 people watching a video means I'm screwed. So it's this really weird dichotomy between the two. And I hope that sort of explains it a little bit better. I don't know if it did, but I hope it does. Dynamic Destroyer New has another Subnautica question, and they say, now that you've conquered Subnautica and its DLC, not DLC, is the second game, but fair enough, has your fear of the ocean lessened or thickened? And this one's simple. It has not changed at all. If you watch the second game, you might think that maybe my thalassophobia or whatever has gotten better. It hasn't. What's gotten better is my, less fear of Subnautica games, not my fear of the ocean. Because I'm still terrified of the unknown and the deep. The thing is, I have a better understanding of Subnautica, the game. And that made Subnautica 2 a lot easier, because I knew how the AIs worked. I knew the game designer's philosophy on creating things. So I basically understood that big things that were gonna kill me would make a lot of noise before I got there. So I didn't really worry that I was constantly gonna get murdered. And generally speaking, I don't know, I just understood the game more, so I was less afraid of the game. But if you put me on a ship, and you were like, hey, this is going across the Atlantic, I would still be terrified. So that much hasn't changed. The Man 6406 says, since Jedi Survivor is over, I was wondering if you would play any other Star Wars games, like The Force Unleashed or Jedi Academy. Those are two games that I have not played, and I'd like to, but I can't really play them on the channel for obvious reasons. Jedi Survivor was a new release. A new release, people. This game came out very recently, and despite that fact, it did horrible on the channel. It religiously underperformed, and I finished it out of spite, almost, to the people who weren't watching it, because I was enjoying the game a lot. I had a ton of fun with Jedi Survivor, and so I was like, I don't give a shit if people aren't gonna watch this. They're either gonna watch it, or they're not gonna see shit from me for the next few weeks, because this is what I'm doing. That being said, I can't continue to pound my channel into the dirt by playing an older game that's Star Wars related, because clearly people don't give a flying fuck about Star Wars. If they did, they might have watched the Jedi Survivor videos, which none of them did. So yeah, would I like to? Sure. Will I? No shot. Last question's from Kier4527, and they say, regarding AUT's Asgore update, do you think something could save the game from its ridiculous skin and grindy status? Because personally, I think the game is just going to get worse. I agree, Kier. I don't think that the game is going anywhere but down from here on forward, and I think that they're going to do that because they see the dollar signs. I can't really say I totally blame them, being in a relatively similar position, but they see the dollar signs. They put in that unobtainable shop, and from what people have sent me, the direct messages people sent me, the developers were surprised that people were stupid enough to buy all of those limited skins immediately after they went on sale. And so now that they understand how much money people are willing to just chuck at their game for pointless skins, this stuff's probably only going to get worse. If they realize they can nickel and dime people more and more and make more and more money, I just don't have very much faith in them to not do that. So we'll see. I kind of hope I'm wrong, but I don't really think I will be. But that's the last question I've got, so that's all for the Q&A for June 2023. If you enjoyed the video, you liked the fact that I scammed you out of JoJo, and if you watched this far after I scammed you out of JoJo, hey, maybe go check out some of those other videos that you skipped, because they're good. But regardless, that's it from me, so if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe. If you didn't, don't. And with all that being said, have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you guys next time.